Look at you. You're so plain. I told the most popular guy at school I loved him, but he just laughed at me. I really wanted to cry. I covered my face with my hands and ran away, humiliated. I firmly decided I would change. No one would call me plain ever again. Hi, I'm Valerie. 2 years passed since that day. I was studying at a drama faculty and dreaming of becoming a famous actress. I'd been going to a lot of auditions. For the sake of popularity, I was ready to take on any role. And eventually, I got lucky. I got a call from a casting director and was offered to star in an ice cream commercial. Many girls had already been chosen for that role, but all refused. The actress would have to dive into a pool filled with ice-cold water and eat ice cream in it. Of course, the idea was crazy, but I agreed. The evening before filming, I tried to take an icy shower and immediately screamed. It seemed impossible, but I didn't give up, and in the end, I was able to stand under the shower for a few minutes. The next day, I brought my best friend with me and asked him to film everything. Dan was happy to help. They gave me a beautiful swimsuit, put waterproof makeup on me, and explained what I had to do. Despite my practice in the shower, diving into an icy pool was scary. But all it took was one take. The operators, producers, and clients were shocked by my endurance. I was so proud of myself at that moment. While I was warming up in the pavilion, a guy from a major TV channel came up to me. He said I should take part in a show that would start filming soon. The participants will compete at who can pass tests the fastest. Points will be given for each test. The participant with the most points by the end will win. Obviously, I signed the contract without hesitation. In the evening, Dan helped me edit a couple of videos, and I posted them on TikTok. I wanted to thank him for his help and ordered us pizza. Dan said, laughing, that after I become famous and rich, I would have to get him a ticket to a concert of his favorite band. He was obsessed with them. The next morning, I was in for a surprise. When I checked my TikTok, I couldn't believe my eyes. My videos had got a lot of views. I was in a great mood all day. But in the evening, when I was about to go to the set, my mother ruined everything. She called and asked me to babysit my younger brother. He was sick and my mom had a night shift. I said that I couldn't do it that day because I had an important evening of filming ahead of me. Valerie, what is more important to you, filming or your own brother? It wasn't fair. We had a fight and I hung up. Dan accompanied me to the set once again. I asked the organizers to allow him to attend, and they gave us the permission. Aside from me, there were 4 other participants. We didn't know what kinds of tests we would be supposed to pass, but we were promised that we would have fun. Knowing what I know now, let me tell you, it was only fun for the audience. In the first trial, we sat down at a long table. There were plates covered with lids on it. When we took the lids off them, we almost suffocated from the stench. There was some sort of fish lying on the plates. The presenter explained that it was surströmming, Swedish canned herring. We had to eat it as quickly as possible. At first, I decided there was no way I would ever touch something so foul. But then, my desire to win won out. I shoved the fish into my mouth and almost burst out crying with disgust. But it was worth it. I finished eating first. A couple of participants got sick, and they were eliminated from the competition. During the second test, we were led to a screen. When the presenter pulled it away, I recoiled. There was a bathtub behind the screen which was about to be filled with spiders! We had to stay inside it for 1 minute. One participant got hysterical. She didn't even try and immediately refused to participate. Luckily, I had never been afraid of spiders. However, when I got into the bath and they fell on me, it was simply awful. I tried not to show my fear, but then a spider fell right on my face and I couldn't stand it. I screamed and jumped out of the bathtub. My last opponent laid in the bathroom for an entire minute and got more points than me. The final test would determine the winner. The last trial turned out to be insane. We were supposed to get inside washing machines. They would be turned on and the one who vomited first would lose. When the test began, I felt like I was in hell. I quickly felt sick. But as soon as I started feeling truly awful, the machine suddenly stopped. It turned out that my opponent had thrown up. And that meant that I had won! I was congratulated and awarded a prize. After the show, Dan and I created some videos using the backstage footage again. I posted them on TikTok and my audience loved them. I got a lot of new followers. When the show aired, I got 10,000 new followers in just 1 day. Soon after that, I got a phone call from an unknown number during a lecture. I walked out of the lecture hall and answered it. It turned out to be a representative of a Japanese company. They were looking for models for their commercials. They needed blonde girls of European appearance and offered me a contract. The problem was, they needed me to move to a neighboring state state where their branch was located for the duration of the filming. Moreover, they needed me to come at once. I should warn you that Japanese advertisements can be very weird. You might have to step out of your comfort zone. That didn't scare me. I was even happy. Those were amazing opportunities for my TikTok. I barely sat until the end of the lecture and rushed home. There, I packed my bag and got ready to leave. The company paid for my tickets and housing. Another actress lived in the apartment with me. Her name was Mickey, and we were supposed to star in the commercial together. We had a lot of common interests and quickly got along. As I was going to bed, I suddenly remembered that I hadn't told anyone about leaving. But it didn't really bother me. I would figure out what to do about uni, and my mom wasn't very interested in my life anyway. After sending a short message to Dan, I fell asleep. The next day, Mickey and I arrived on set. It was on a completely different level. So many people worked there. Many of them were Japanese. I immediately liked one young cameraman, flirted with him a little, and asked him to film some backstage footage for me. Of course, he couldn't resist and agreed. That day, we were filming an advertisement for cat food. The choreographer taught Mickey and me a dance, and then we performed it wearing cat costumes. There were real cats participating as well, so we had to film a lot of takes. As a result, the filming process lasted several days. During the next couple of weeks, I got dressed as anime characters, an alien, and even a milk carton. I kept posting videos on TikTok, and my followers loved them. One day, I was scrolling through the videos and saw one of a guy jumping on the roofs. I googled it and found out that it was called roofing. Roofers roof hop, get on top of tall buildings and do dangerous stunts there. I immediately wanted to try it. Of course, I didn't want to do something risky right away. So I decided to just film a video on a roof first. I chose a building that wasn't very tall and climbed up the fire escape. I filmed it all on video and then filmed some more on the roof itself. After I posted that video, I got a lot of enthusiastic comments. I was asked to film more videos like that, and of course, I continued. Soon I got the nickname Supergirl on TikTok. I loved everything I was doing. One day, I decided to raise the stakes and climb higher. Of course, it was very risky, but for the sake of staying popular, I was ready to do anything. I asked Mickey to come with me and help me film the video. We came to a TV tower. I was a bit scared, but it was too late to back out. Make sure that no one notices me. We don't need problems with the police. Mickey nodded in agreement and got ready to film me. I also had a purse with a phone hanging on my belt and planned to take a few photos after getting up. As I climbed up the TV tower, I tried not to look down. I had no idea how much time had passed. It felt like I had been climbing for ages. All of a sudden, sirens sounded below. I jerked in surprise and almost fell. Looking down, I saw that several police cars and fire trucks had pulled up to the TV tower. Oh no, how had they noticed me? A couple of firefighters immediately came up to the TV tower and started to help me get down. I could have done that myself. I was really afraid that they would arrest me and I wouldn't be able to act in the commercials anymore, but luckily, it all ended with just a fine. Mickey apologized for not being able to warn me in time, but I calmed her down and told her it wasn't her fault. We were about to leave when I noticed a familiar face among the firefighters. First I thought I was imagining it, but then it couldn't be. Cedric! The fireman turned around and I recognized him as my high school crush. Yes, it was definitely him. The same guy who had once laughed at me. He looked at me carefully. Valerie? We looked at each other in silence. He hadn't changed much, but I had changed a lot. I thought he would be amazed by the new me. I was looking forward to the face he would make. But Cedric did not act at all like I was expecting. He suddenly started yelling at me. You're just as thick as the day I met you. While people like you are doing all sorts of nonsense, firefighters are trying to help those who truly need it. I had never felt more indignant. You are the dumb one, okay? I have a whole army of followers on TikTok. I'm popular now. Cedric grinned and looked at me with pity. Who needs such popularity? Are you really ready to do anything for the sake of views? After meeting Cedric, my mood was completely ruined. As Mickey and I drove home, I thought about what he had said. Of course he was wrong, but for some reason his words really hurt me. Soon, Mickey and I got a job offer. The producers were preparing a cool project but could not decide which one of us to choose. So they arranged a screen test. We carefully prepared for it and rehearsed at home. But the day before the test, we decided to relax and arranged a spa day at home. We tried different cosmetics and using peeling scrubs. Then, Mickey suddenly remembered a recipe for a homemade face mask. She quickly made it and suggested I try it. The mask didn't look very good, but Mickey promised that the result would be cool. I put it on my skin, left it for half an hour, and washed it off. If only I knew what would happen next. The next morning, I didn't need an alarm because I woke up from a weird feeling. My whole face was red and itching terribly. I was covered with ugly red pimples. Terrified, I ran into Mickey's room and started complaining, but she just smiled contentedly. That's when I realized what had happened. You did it on purpose! To get a role in the project! The worst part was that Mickey wasn't even trying to deny anything. Of course I did. I'm sorry, but it's nothing personal. I would have set you up earlier, but I just hadn't had a chance. I realized something else. Did you call the police at the TV tower too? I was hoping you would be arrested, but you got lucky. Okay, I have no time for this. I have to get ready for the screen test. In the end, I also came to the studio and tried to explain the situation, but the whole film crew was horrified by my appearance. I could wave goodbye to the project. Mickey got the role. In the end, I wandered aimlessly around the city. It was only at that moment that I remembered about Dan, my only real friend. He would have never done that to me. Since my move, he had often called and texted me, but I had never replied. I felt terribly ashamed of myself. I also felt guilty for how I had treated my mom. I'd never called her and hadn't even asked how my brother was doing. I found a table in a small cafe and started to read messages. To my surprise, I had also got emails from the university. At first, there had been warnings that I could be expelled if I didn't show up for the exams, and then I saw proof that those hadn't been empty threats. I couldn't believe it. I had really been expelled. I felt so awful that I burst into tears. But I quickly pulled myself together and decided to act. I wanted to become a real actress, and for that, I had to keep studying. That evening, I came back to my home state. I came to the university early in the morning, arranged a meeting with the rector, and begged him to let me keep studying. I'm sorry, but that's not possible. The papers have already been signed. Please give me another chance. I promise I will fix everything and try very hard. The conversation was long and difficult, but in the end, the rector suggested a compromise. I had to pass the exams I had missed, and I would only have one attempt. In the evening, while sitting with a pile of textbooks, I decided to call my mother, but she wouldn't talk to me. I went to our house. Mom met me with reproaches. She told me that my brother had severe pneumonia and was still in the hospital. I was shocked. When I arrived there, I saw that he had lost a lot of weight. He looked pitiful lying on the hospital bed, and I felt very sorry for him. For the upteenth time in recent days, I couldn't hold back my tears. Cedric had been right. I had been wasting my time doing dumb stuff. I wanted to be popular so much I had forgotten about the most important thing, my family. I felt so awful, I posted my last TikTok video. I told my followers that I would no longer film dumb videos. My brother is in the hospital, and I will spend all of my free time with him. Half of my followers unsubscribed from me, but I do not regret my decision. Instead of acting in commercials, I started preparing for exams and often visited my brother. I also called Dan, but he wouldn't listen to me. I remembered the time we had sat in my room. I had ordered pizza and Dan had joked that if I got rich, I would have to give him a ticket to a concert of his favorite band as a gift. I had an idea. I ordered a pizza and asked them to write sorry on it using sauce. It wasn't easy to get tickets to the concert, but I succeeded. I asked the delivery guy to bring the ticket to Dan along with the pizza. Dan came to me a few hours later. He liked my gift, and we made up. We went to the concert together. Dan loved it. One day, after I had passed an exam, we went for a walk around the city. A couple of guys suddenly came up to me. "You're Supergirl, right? You're so cool. When will you post new videos?" I was surprised. Did people still remember me? I joked, said goodbye to my followers, and immediately checked my TikTok. Imagine my surprise when I saw that my video from the hospital had got a lot of views and likes. A lot of people supported me in the comments. Then I realized that I could continue filming videos. They didn't have to be stupid after all. That's how a new life began for my TikTok. Dan became my regular cameraman. We filmed only good content. I passed all the exams and kept studying at the university. My brother recovered and helped me and my mom make up. Now, I often come home to my family. And not that long ago, Cedric subscribed to my TikTok. He apologized to me for being rude to me at school and wished me luck. I think I'm finally doing everything right. Do you often watch TikToks? Tell us in the comments down below.